I'm 26 years old, and I've never held a steady job for more than a month. When I was 19, I was a freshman pre-law student living on a strict diet of ramen noodles and tap water. But one day, I splurged on a rare college delicacy. And like some disgusting fortune cookie of fate, I found not just flaccid noodles and dog food hamburger filling, but...
Oh, come on.
a person's finger inside.
She opened up the can. She took a bite and found a finger in her mouth.
Long story short, I got enough money to keep my mouth shut. The fact that the finger made it inside my mouth almost doubled my settlement. So, after the obvious blowout parties with my friends and the useless electronic purchases...
Excuse me, how many speakers do you think we could hook up before it gets ridiculous?
And the world travel tours and paying off my college debt, I still had a shitload of cash.
Can you turn that down, please?
This is why I told you not to sing.
And I was starting to get bored. So I got a job at a bookstore. I love books, so I thought it would be cool. But after 5 or so years of never being told what to do, I had a little problem being ordered to wipe spilled lattes off the floor. Or reshelve discarded books from lazy shoppers. So... I quit. But not before I ripped the Scarlet Letter to shreds. And flung it off the main staircase. It was then that I realized quitting was the most fun I'd had in months. And quickly became my new hobby.
Peace out, dude.
After that, I worked at a restaurant that had a whiteboard in the kitchen. One weekend, I wiped away all the painstakingly scribed tasks for the day and replaced them with a more entertaining alternative. It looked like a 5-year-old had done it, but I've been to Madrid. I think that's what the original looks like anyway. The head chef almost had a heart attack. Last summer, I worked as a secretary for a mortgage company.
Doc Nation, this is Deborah.
On my last day, I decided to do away with the regular office salutations. Most people said hello a few times and hung up. But one woman stayed on the phone. It made me a little uneasy because I felt like it had happened to her before. I lasted until about 3 o'clock, when my boss checked in during lunch. Then, I worked at a pastry shop. I started on a Wednesday, and by Friday, I wanted to quit. It wasn't the staff that got to me. It was the customers.
I ordered the lemon tartlet,
Yes, ma'am, I heard you.
and yet you're still standing here. And I'm still empty-handed. Perhaps someone else should help me.
Of course, ma'am. Let me go get my manager.
I saw one of my coworkers at the supermarket the next week.
We didn't know you were gone, so no one took over your line. You know, people stood there waiting for like 30 minutes. Oh, this one woman kind of lost it.
Where's my fucking tartlet?
God, I wish I'd been there to see that.
This time I'm working as a secretary again at a law firm. I've already taken $90 worth of stamps, and stuck them to the underside of my desk. Someone will find them eventually. Never underestimate the power of delayed sabotage. This office is kind of quiet. And they have really good coffee in the break room. So, although I'm going to terrorize these people as soon as I come up with a good enough idea, I'm not in too much of a hurry to get canned.
Deborah, can you come here a moment?
Please sit.
Most bosses have uncomfortable chairs for their guests. I guess it's a power thing. They sit back in their leather throne and watch you writhe around on a wooden stool that belongs in a one-room schoolhouse. But Anita was different. Everything in her office was class. Rich mahogany desk, thick olive drapes, sterling silver picture frames. But no pictures of her family. Instead, they were all of her. At first, I thought it was sad, but she looked overjoyed in front of the Grand Canyon. And almost maniacally happy petting an alpaca in God knows where.
So, Deborah, you've been working for us for about a week now?
That's right.
And I've only heard good things about you. So it may come as a small surprise when I tell you that I'm going to have to let you go.
What? I had never been fired pre-sabotage.
What the?
That's not the way this worked. What was this crazy woman doing? I felt an unfamiliar emotion rising up inside me that I assumed either was or was closely related to rejection, mixed with a little bit of defeat. But why?
I don't know. Sometimes I just really love firing people.